How's it going, guys? I wanted to take a few minutes in this video to talk to you all about some legislation that is moving through Frankfort here in Kentucky. And as many of you all are aware, there has been a growing movement across the country for constitutional carry. And that means carrying a concealed weapon without the requirement for having a license or permit. There, I believe, at the time I'm making this video, a total of 14 states that have passed constitutional carry. And right now it is being considered in Kentucky. In fact, it has already passed the Kentucky Senate by a pretty good margin. And it is on its way to the Kentucky House of Representatives. And the reason that I wanted to make this video is I wanted to encourage you guys to contact your representatives if you are here in Kentucky and urge them to support this bill. Now, just to give you guys a little bit more background of the position where I'm coming from, I do want you all to know that I am a state certified firearms instructor. I have been teaching the concealed carry class for several years. And admittedly, I support constitutional carry. And the reason that I do that, I know some of you guys have seen a video that Buffalo Outdoors did. He's a friend of mine, got a great YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description. Go check him out, tell him I said hello. In that video and in discussions with Buffalo, I know that he's had discussions with other instructors who were in opposition of constitutional carry. That's their prerogative, but the reality is I know that some people are interested in money. That's just no other way to put it. And personally for me, I do not teach the class for the purposes of making money. I teach the class because I am a Second Amendment advocate. And some of you guys may question, why do I teach a class that requires a fee for a concealed carry license and still say I'm a Second Amendment advocate? That's what I want to explain in this video. One way that I really try to focus on the Second Amendment is I focus on trying to bring in people who are new to firearms. Now, there are a lot of people that have been into my classes that are completely new to firearms. I have literally unboxed guns for people. I teach the class because I want those people to have a good foundation, to get some good knowledge of safety and the basic techniques of using their firearm. I always keep my classes very small. I usually have 5 or 6 people, just depends. And in that way, it gives me the ability to work with individuals more on a one-to-one basis. That way, if they have any questions, we've got time to work through things and that sort of thing. The reason that I do that is to try to remove any ammunition from the gun control crowd, these people that use any kind of an accident as a way to push for more gun control. If something that I do in teaching that class keeps someone safe, then that is an accident that doesn't happen that they can't use to push for more gun control. And you know, I'm sure that there may be a few less people that come to my classes, but I don't care. The reality is I support the Second Amendment. All right, if you're willing to trade freedom for just a few dollars to give a class, then you are a slave to the money. That's all there is to it. I am a strong supporter of the Constitution. I believe in our constitutional rights. I believe that the Second Amendment is our concealed carry license. But as an instructor, again, that is my way of advocating for the Second Amendment to try to help help people not to have accidents. Even if the bill passes, which I hope it does, I'm still going to offer the classes because I like working with people. I like helping new shooters learn about firearms and get them off to a good start. And there are still benefits to having a concealed carry license. If it will be your choice, but just to put it out there, some of the benefits are the fact that if you're going to travel out of state and you want to carry concealed, you are still going to need some type of a license in the states that you travel to if they recognize Kentucky's license. Also, if you are going to purchase firearms, now there's no, don't misunderstand me, there is no kind of licensing for purchasing guns or anything like that. But if you go into an FFL and you buy a gun, instead of them having to make the phone call to the NIC system, if you have your concealed carry license, they simply write the number down on the 4473 and you walk out with your gun. It saves you a little time. Also reduces the chance for you getting delayed for one reason or another. I know I've got a couple of friends that own gun stores, and they do occasionally have people get delayed just because of their name come up in the system for whatever reason. Even though it was a different individual, you get one person that is a criminal and another person that isn't. Similar names or same name in some cases, they could get delayed. So the concealed carry license is one way that you can avoid that from happening. So that is just a couple of advantages for still having the carry license. Now, as far as some of the other things that we need to remember, constitutional carry is just that. It is putting the constitutional rights back in their respected place. All right, that's where they need to be. And the classes, even if I was not teaching the concealed carry class, I would still like to teach some type of firearms class, some type of firearm safety. The concealed carry program is not being eliminated. It's going to become an option instead of being mandated under this proposed legislation. But the reason that I still plan on teaching it is, as I mentioned earlier, to help people. And just some of the stories that I could share, there again, there's been a lot of people in my classes that have been new to guns. I've unboxed guns. I've literally taken guns out of the plastic for people. We would sit down, go through the class, spend time with them, teach them how to load the gun, teach them how to aim, and how to shoot. And for me, having people that have just a little bit basic knowledge of firearms is a great way to help ensure our rights, because the majority of people who are opposed to the Second Amendment and scream more gun control, the majority of those people don't know anything about guns. We all know that. And the more knowledge that we can get into the hands of people, the more common that it becomes, the less likelihood there is that some of this nonsense legislation that we've seen happen in other areas is going to happen here. And just to tell you a little bit about some other stories, some other things that have happened in some of my classes. I had one student back, I think a year or so ago. He was new to firearms. He decided that he wanted to go out and get one, and he did. He bought a lockbox, had to convince his wife to let him buy the gun. She was real nervous about it. They had never really been around guns that much. And he come to the class. As part of the class, I talk about some of the differences between quality lockboxes to store your firearm and those that are inferior. As part of the class, I showed a demonstration of how easy it is to get into some of these very common lockboxes. He decided to look up online how easy it would be to get into the lockbox that he'd bought. Of course, he's got small kids. He wants to be able to be sure that he can keep them away from his gun. And when he looked that up, he immediately seen that the box that he bought was not as good of a quality as he thought that it would be. So that to me is an indication that I'm doing something right. He looked at me and he said, "So you mean that a 5-star rating on Amazon means nothing?" And that was exactly right. Go out, look up how you can get into that specific box, and that was what he did. That being said, that is a potential accident that was avoided. That is someone that took the time to go out. From what little I showed them in the class, they were able to go out and make a better choice for the safety equipment they need to keep their firearm out of the hands of their kids. I also sent his wife a message just to kind of let her know that we talked about this, to try to give her just a little bit of comfort as well. Again, these people, his wife, they were nervous about this. This was a new experience to them, and it's something that I wanted to make as good of an experience to them as possible. And, you know, I feel that that is the best way to help protect our Second Amendment rights. And that's why I say that me teaching the concealed carry class is part of how I advocate for our Second Amendment rights. Now, it is true. History has shown that when you have a free people that are able to have the freedom of being armed, that there are tragedies that happen. That's an unfortunate reality of the world that we live in. However, history has also shown that when governments are the only ones that have firearms, that have weaponry, it isn't just tragedies that happen, it's genocides. We need to be able to protect our Second Amendment rights, and our rights are only as secure as we make them. We, the people, are responsible for protecting our rights. And, you know, we all need to be active in participating with our government, our elected representatives. We need to contact them regularly, write them letters, send them emails, phone calls, let them know what your positions are on some of these issues. It is very important for us to stand up and let them know. You know, those who are opposed to the Second Amendment, they're out there protesting in the streets and that sort of thing. And the reality is, if we remain silent, then they're going to win. They're going to have their voices so loud that they drown out everything else. The people in the halls of government are going to hear nothing but what they say if they don't hear from us. And then they're going to put in a lot of these nonsense laws that further restrict our rights. So it's up to us to be able to protect our rights as citizens. And again, guys, this is an important topic. Again, kind of getting just a little bit off of how it started out, but that I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an explanation of why I do teach the concealed carry class, why I plan to continue to teach the concealed carry class, but at the same time, why it is still important for us to have constitutional carry within the state of Kentucky. I know it sounds a little bit confusing. Those are just my positions on this. If you have a different viewpoint or if you agree with me, let me know down in the comments below. Even if the constitutional carry passes, which I hope it does, I'm going to teach classes. I'm going to work to try to bring in people who are not familiar with firearms, to get them a little bit more comfortable, to get them a basic level of skills with their firearm, to where they can be safe, to where they understand some of the basics of them. And that's just me. That's just who I am. That's why I like teaching the class, and I plan to continue to teach the class. But guys, this is just a quick video that I wanted to do. Again, thanks to Buffalo, thanks to all of the new subscribers that are here. I'd said in a previous video that I've been trying to get back to responding to some of the comments that you guys made. Now I'm going to continue that, so I hope to respond back to you personally. Guys, thanks for being here. That way, in this video, you kind of know a little bit about my background, what I do, and why I teach the class, my thoughts on that. But again, guys, just get involved with the political process. Get a hold of your legislatures, your representatives, and let them know, because we've got to protect our rights. Guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.